Greetings. My name is John Gabriel, and this is the New Calculus channel. So, today I'm going to be talking to you about the fiction known as real number. Okay, what is a real number? Is there such a thing as a real number? There actually isn't. But to an architect or an engineer who's actually doing real work in the physical world, pi is as meaningful as a unicorn riding a rainbow through a blackboard lecture, in my opinion. What really matters is measure, okay? And 3.14159 whatever is not a measure. It's a crude approximation, okay? And it's basically just pulled out of the rear end of the collective rear end of mainstream math academics, okay, who pretend they understand. So they don't really understand anything. They're basically just, thinking, well, we're gonna just call it openly irrational. That's all they do. So what does an engineer do with pi? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They never use pi directly, okay? They use 22 over 7 or 3.14 or 3.1416 or whatever approximation fits the level of tolerance that's required for a part not to fall apart, for a part not to fall apart or explode. Okay, so no one builds a bridge with pi. They use cut steel and they draw lines and they basically measure distances and all sorts of other things that have nothing to do with pi or real numbers. They're always rational numbers. Okay? So the ratio of the circle circumference, right, to the circle diameter is a geometric relation. And it has no exact measure. So the approach is to acknowledge its failure to be measured, not to assume that the failure is pi, okay, and pretend that it's a number. It's not a number. I mean, scribbling pi on Blueprint or anywhere else is about as helpful as inscribing infinity on a ruler. So just imagine trying to put infinity on a ruler. You can't, right? It's garbage, isn't it? Of course it is. So to answer plainly, 3.14159 is more useful, and even then it's just a usable fiction, okay? A poor man's substitute, really, for what we cannot measure, but what we must somehow work around. So calling pi a number and writing it as pi is equal to pi over 1 is a feat of intellectual gymnastics. So preposterous, okay? It's so preposterous that only university lecturers could dignify it with a chalkboard. Okay, so I'm putting the priests of mainstream math academia on notice. That's what I'm doing right now. Let them keep their magical pi, whatever it is, that 3.14 crap, or the Diedecken cut or Cauchy sequence, or whatever. Engineers will continue to use tape measures, ratios, and tolerances, and leave the irrational incantations to those clowns known as mathematics lecturers and mathematics teachers. Now, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please become a subscriber, click like, and follow me on academia.edu. I don't make a lot of money out of my YouTube channel, which is an absolute shame since it is the best math channel on the web. I'm currently in the process of finishing off my new book, which is Essential Mathematics for guess who? Professors of mathematics and educators of mathematics. It will teach them how to do the basics, things like how to understand geoarithmetic, where arithmetic and numbers come from, and how to teach students the correct way. I'm John Gabriel, and this is a new calculus channel. If you're wondering what's on my t-shirt all this time, it's a non-smoking campaign, and this is Greek here because there's a lot of Greeks who smoke. So it says, Mono e pneumatica adinami kapnezon, 64 years non-smoker. So obviously it's not going to have much of an effect because these guys are even worse in mainstream math academics. They're as intransigent as brick or tiles. Okay, so I look forward to talking with you again soon. My name is John Gabriel. Till next time, goodbye.